We have covered Kaitlin Bennet quite a lot on this channel. I've gotten far too familiar with her tactics, methods, and just pattern of speech. I'm severely uncomfortable with this. So, what's there to do except take a look at her shit again? Wait.
I said it's a shame because you're a very beautiful woman. It's a shame you're a Trumper.
Should I have the same opinions that you want me to have? Why don't you want women to think for themselves?
That's not what he said.
Your hatred ruins your beauty.
He should have been impeached? Absolutely. Why?
Because that's not leadership. Leadership is not to cause riots.
What does impeachment mean?
What does it matter?
Because you said he deserved it. What's it mean?
So it doesn't matter because you obviously don't listen to anything anybody says, or you're very, what's the words I'm looking for? Svenska.
Beautiful.
Oh, we're gonna have a fun time today. And by fun time, I mean I'm gonna hate every minute of this. I'm not going to enjoy this. Okay. Let's go.
I voted for Donald Trump, and I'm giving anybody who's ever wondered...
Everybody knows you voted for Trump, Kaitlin. Nobody has any delusions about that.
...what a Trump supporter thinks, the opportunity to ask me anything. Let's see what questions they have.
Yeah. Why? Like, here's the thing. Here would be my question. What do you think Donald Trump did that made him presidential material? Do you think it was a net positive to have him in? Moreover, I would ask, why do you think he should be a king of this nation? Why do you think having a democracy suddenly have a monarchy in it is a good thing? Those would be my questions for Kaitlin. Let's see if anybody asks them.
Nice work.
Thanks. Appreciate it. Can I ask you about your shirt? Please?
I know who you are.
I know who you...
No.
Unity, right?
Oh my god, I love that. He's just, I know who you are. Bye.
See Barbie.
What are you talking about?
You're not Barbie.
Well, half of that is a compliment, I have to say.
Which half of that, though, Kaitlin? Giving your anti-Semitic shit? Was it the Nazi part or the Barbie part? Because Barbie's a plastic doll with no personality, which I get is an upgrade from you. But I don't think we're going to speculate on which one of those was actually a compliment to her.
Cincinnati.
What about unity?
You and your
Trump existing in the White House was divisive.
other friend.
Who?
Nazi Barbie. I know you. You your pants.
What is this?
Pooping pants.
About unity. What is this about? What is this about unity? Do you think that
Wait, why is she constantly saying unity? Okay.
strives unity in our country?
Yeah, we're on the good side.
What's that?
On his side.
Why isn't this unifying? Why aren't you trying to unite the country?
He lost. He lost, poopy pants.
All right.
They're going to be bitter whether they win or lose.
I mean, he's talking about poop.
They're gonna be bitter whether they win or lose? Wait, that's not somebody who's bitter, my dude. That's somebody who's happy. He's celebrating. He's literally just like, nope, we won. Waha! That guy's happy. That's not bitterness. Bitterness is saying that Florida needs to secede so that you can keep your favorite god emperor in place. That's something Caitlin's done.
They're always going to be bitter.
Always.
That's
Always.
not
Now he's
bitterness.
trying to harass your wife.
Not my wife, but...
Okay, sorry. We're not.
How is he harassing anyone? Kaitlin, the only one harassing anyone here is you. You're the one who's going up to people, and when they obviously don't want a conversation with you, you're constantly putting the microphone in their face and trying to get them to say stuff. They haven't consented to be on camera. They haven't consented to be in your video. They haven't consented to do any of this stuff. You're the one harassing them.
He says
Drop it
yes.
all, yeah. I
Okay, well good deal. Did you guys vote for Donald Trump too? Oh my god, everybody, I have found maybe 5 Joe Biden. No.
Yeah, but where are you filming this from? It looks like Florida. It looks like a beach. This looks like some of the areas I've been to in Florida. So I would assume that if that's the case, then you're asking a state that went red and confused that people voted for Trump. Okay.
No, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. What is going on?
Tell me you didn't. That's just a joke, right? You didn't vote for Trump.
No, yes I did. Why? What's wrong with that?
Oh.
Nothing wrong with voting, though I would ask the question again, why Trump? Well, but then again, we know she's been on her Twitter begging to lick the dude's boots. So I don't think there's a question as to why here.
I could be here all day with it.
Yeah, so could I. Why don't you ask me something?
Essentially a traitor, treasonous president.
What did he do?
Instigated.
Okay, so here's the thing that happens with Kaitlin Bennet and Steven Crowder and Ben Shapiro and practically all of these people when they do this live interview thing. Random people on the street are not prepared to have these conversations. You are sitting here with a mountain of responses already prepped in your head. You're ready to go. And then when you engage random people on the street, they probably aren't going to be able to give you answers. Especially not satisfactory answers. And the fact that they can or can't doesn't mean anything, except for you. It means you get content for your video, but, you know, what have you. Whatever.
Insurrection.
Donald John Trump incited the erection.
But I'm
What
going
are
to stop
you
there. No,
Why don't you just ask me something instead of hurling these things at me? Why not have a conversation?
You're the one who's literally going up to him. He doesn't have to ask you shit.
I talked to you in a very civil manner. No, but I would just...
Can you back up anything you said?
He doesn't have to. He's in a public
No,
place.
I don't
He
want to
doesn't
ask
need
questions. Don't want to actually talk to anybody.
Yeah, not to you. Kaitlin, you need to understand that as more and more people learn about your dishonest tactics, they're not going to want to engage with you. There's nothing wrong with that.
Here we go. Yeah, a little inappropriate, but it definitely looks like me. That reminds me, Kaitlin Bennet Uncensored.
How about not? How about we not have that image in our heads? Because I know what you're thinking, and I don't like it. Because I know what I'm thinking, and I don't like it either.
LibertyHangout.tv, you can watch my uncensored opinions, but that's...
I like how she has to emphasize opinions because she's got at least 10 people a day probably asking for feet pics. Because something about a Nazi is hot to them, I guess.
That's it. That's the only thing that's uncensored there. And behind the scenes footage of all of our trips. You can support my work. LibertyHangout.tv. Anybody here vote for Joe Biden? Did you? Not hardly. No? Did you vote for Joe Biden?
No.
No. I found maybe 3 people.
You keep asking older people. That generation largely votes conservative. Like, obviously you found one person earlier who voted for Biden, or 2 people at least. But the older generation generally votes conservative in this country. I kind of wish that trend would stop.
People so far.
How come we lost?
You had a wow reaction.
Yeah,
Why'd you say wow?
because who cares?
Who cares? Or if you didn't care, why'd you say wow? It shocked you.
Just because, I mean, it's past. Why focus on the past, right?
I don't think
Somebody
so.
else did.
Yep, gotta ride that Trump train for as long as humanly possible. It's literally the only thing paying your bills these days.
We'll move forward.
Yeah, well, I would like you to say that to CNN and all these Democrats who wanted to impeach him. That's a good point. He should have been impeached?
Absolutely.
Why?
Because impeachment is charging a holder of a public office with misconduct. And he engaged in misconduct. He poorly represented our nation at multiple turns. But, again, random people on the street, are not prepared for this conversation. And people who are in Kaitlin Bennett's audience get to watch stuff like this, and it gets to be confirmation bias for them that they're in the right. And that sucks.
Because that's not leadership. Leadership is not to cause riots.
What does impeachment mean? Why do you impeach a
I'm
president?
from Sweden, from Stockholm. We just run things differently.
Okay.
And the fact that there's only two political parties here that really run and those two sides, that's it. You have no other choices. It's ludicrous.
Right, well, let's
The
go
way our
back to,
political
you said he
system is
deserved
set
to
up.
be impeached.
Oh, yeah.
What does impeachment mean?
Oh, I can't even vote, so I don't get detailed into that. Like,
But you thought the president of
think
America should have been impeached?
well, I didn't say impeach. I said something has happened.
You
That's
said
not
he
leadership.
should have.
Well, you did say impeach, but again, this is somebody who likely does not have public speaking prowess. This is somebody who is literally just out in the open. The only person here who's prepared for this type of engagement is you, Kaitlin. Seriously, if it's Kaitlin, just play Disney music and disengage.
You said he deserved
Well,
to be
yeah,
impeached.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Like, you weren't leader. And the fact that you actually said certain words that made somebody die, it's really pretty
Who?
bad.
Who died because of Trump's words?
He literally told people to march on the Capitol, and there were 5 deaths. This isn't rocket science, Kaitlin. This isn't hard. This isn't difficult.
You know.
No, I don't. I'm asking you.
Well, then why are you here with a mic if you don't know?
Well, I'm asking you. If you just accused Trump of killing someone, should you back that
I
up?
didn't. I said his words. He didn't.
Okay, but his
Whoever
words
the
say.
police was, right?
Police?
This is the exact same thing you can do with Hitler. You can do this with Hitler. You can go, he didn't kill anybody. He had a body count of 1 himself. You can do this exact same thing with other heinous people. It doesn't make you right.
Yeah, whoever was, whoever did. I know there was a loss of life. I don't get in
Loss of life where?
at the
Loss of life at the Capitol, you dingus.
Capitol.
To support my work directly, you can go to patreon.com/Kaitlin Bennet for
Oh my
$5.
god, no. No plugs here. No plugs. Look, Kaitlin, no plug. This is the plug-free zone. This is a plug-free zone. You want plugs? Can't get them here, but you can get them. Or you can get them. You can go to ddlgplayground.com. Look, there's a fuzzy one right here. You can get wands, plugs. Yeah, you can even get a whole kit. You can get all this. You can get plenty of plugs. And if you want any of that, the better plugs than what Kaitlin has. And you can get them at ddlgplayground.com. If you use coupon code Suris, you get 10% off of anything there. And it helps out my channel a lot. So, if you want plugs, these are the ones that don't suck. Also, you can use them to tell Kaitlin Bennet to stuff it.
No, are you kidding me?
What's wrong?
And yes, she changed clothes because she's going out multiple days trying to fish for this footage. Remember, this is her job. This is her job. This is what she does. She goes out and she fishes for this footage. She gets her gotchas, she gets her owns, and then she takes it and edits it all into a giant owned compilation on YouTube, and then she gets paid for it. I mean, hell, I can tell you right now. Let's see. This video, 308,000 views. She has made a decent chunk of money off of this video. Nothing wrong with getting paid for your work, but she did change clothes because she's out here multiple days in a row.
You guys okay?
I understand why you said that at first.
You guys okay? There's another example of that unity that they want in this country. Thanks, Jake. You don't even know what impeachment is, but you said that a private citizen deserved to be impeached.
No, the impeachment happened while he was president. The trial happened when he was a private citizen. But both impeachments happened while he was in office.
Do you know what impeachment is supposed to mean?
Hold on, I'm actually taking a conference at the same time talking to you. You're funny.
That disrespect. That's great. Oh my god, I love that.
Okay.
Will they tell you what impeachment means?
No. That's not the conference.
Okay.
Come on, sweetheart.
That's what conference you should be on if you're gonna...
What? Are you just an Kaitlin! She's literally on a conference call that's probably has to do with her job, and she's giving you the time of day, and you're sitting here being an asshole. No. Your job isn't important. No, what's important is you getting the definition of a word correctly. That's the important part. Oh my God.
No.
So you're going to tell actual American citizens that their president should have been impeached after he was voted out. I understand that, and that's the issue.
Of course it's an issue to you. You hate foreigners.
Is that you're going to come up here and tell me about my president and my politicians. What does impeachment
Not your president anymore. Not the president of the United States, Kaitlin.
mean?
Start having some conversations.
What does impeachment mean?
Divide, which makes no sense.
What does impeachment mean?
What does it matter?
Because you said he deserved it. What's it mean?
So it doesn't matter.
Caitlin,
'cause
this
you
is
obviously
verbal
don't listen
entrapment.
to anything anybody says, or you're very what's the words I'm looking for? Svenska.
Beautiful.
Om du
That's what
säger,
you're looking
du är
for.
väldigt vacker, jättevacker också, det är du.
Yeah.
You're
Very, very cool.
beautiful.
Why aren't
Did you just... I don't like that. I don't... When somebody says something to you in a different language, the correct thing to usually ask is, what does that mean? Not very cool. Just dismissing it because it's not fucking English. Kaitlin. Going out, harassing multiple people outside, and then telling them that their job is less important than giving you, blonde Barbie Nazi on a high horse. It's more important for them to give you the answer to your verbal entrapment than it is for you to accept that somebody else's job might be more important than you as an individual to them.
aren't you excited about me? I'm excited about you.
Because you're not wearing a mask.
We are outside. She's not wearing a mask and you're beside her.
Could be her sister. Could be her wife. I have no way of knowing. And if they live together, they're gonna catch it anyway if they're in the same house. Might not matter for them to just be right there together. Who cares?
And you're not double masking either, so
Why does that matter? I understand the double masking is more preventative, it's more protective, more moisture gets locked in, more availability to trade the masks out with one another, but that doesn't do anything here.
We don't want to talk to you.
why are you so rude?
They don't want to talk to you! How's that rude? They don't want to engage in a conversation with somebody who literally engages in dishonest tactics. How is that? Moreover, why do you feel the need to put that in the video? And if they don't want to talk to you, if they don't want to be there in the video with you, they obviously don't want to do that. Why do you then put their footage in your video? Like, when you do that, all I can think of is that you don't care about somebody else's consent. Honestly, that's... If anything should show the kind of tactics that people like Kaitlin Bennet use, this should be it.
Did you come back for more?
Did she just go, bitch, did you come back for more? Wait, what?
Why are you so rude? Did you come back for more?
I love the uncertainty. Bitch, did you come back for more? Like, I could do better than that, Kaitlin. If I wanted to do the uncertain... Whoa. Bitch, did you come back for more? Huh? Oh, whoa. Like, I could do that. And it's more convincing than yours.
I can't get a picture of Miss Bennet.
Oh my god.
Come on. Come on. Tough
So
guy.
wait,
Why'd he come back?
So wait, let me get this straight. Kaitlin Bennet gets to have the security around her, preventing her from having pictures taken of her, but she gets to take photos, pictures, video of everybody around her and doesn't have to ask consent whether they want to be in her YouTube video or not. She just posts them anyway. You get to have armed security protecting you from having your poor Nazi little face plastered on the internet. But when it's the other way around, you get to go, you get to ask, why aren't people talking to you? Yes, that's her bodyguard. She whenever she goes out, Kaitlin goes out with an armed security detail. Her Patreon dollars go to having an armed security detail around her at all times when she goes out, because she's afraid of getting attacked by ooh-woo wibblewools.
For more.
taking my picture. Why can't I take hers?
Exactly.
We're old friends. We go way back to Cincinnati. I'll send you some of my.
He just called me a she.
Why do you keep talking about Cincinnati? Why are you obsessed with where I'm from?
Beautiful woman. It's a shame you're a Trumper.
I'm sorry, what?
I said it's a shame because you're a very beautiful woman. It's a shame you're a Trumper.
Should I have the same opinions that you want me to have? Why don't you want women to think for themselves?
No, you can want women to think for themselves and still be ashamed of the opinions that they have. I can want women to think for themselves, but if they think that having a patriarchal society where they are subservient to people like me is a good thing, then I can be ashamed of that opinion. I can be sad about that opinion, because I think that's a harmful opinion to both have and transfer over to your children. Then again, Kaitlin doesn't have any kids from what I know, and I believe her ideology requires her to be a baby factory, so this is awkward.
Your hatred ruins your beauty.
What's an example of hatred?
Look, the fact that you engage in bigotry with a smile doesn't mean that you're absolved of hatred. Just a cursory glance at the transphobia, homophobia, the pro-monarchy shit that would necessarily lead to the deaths of thousands of Americans in an attempt to secede. The fact that you believe all of those things and you post them online all the time, Kaitlin, is evidence enough of your hatred.
The only one screaming at people today is him. I mean, he's not cute at all, and he's hateful, so he's really got nothing going for him. At least he called me a Barbie. What does impeachment mean?
I don't get involved in that because I didn't go to school here.
Does she just have these people and she's just going to clip them up so we can keep going back to them? I mean, it's standard entertainment editing, I get it, but I don't care about this woman anymore, and I don't think she cares about you.
I did not learn about that process.
Well, I'll teach you right now for free.
That's why I'm going to smoke. Sorry, I saw. Yeah.
I'll teach you right now for free, and you can consider this your American education.
Wow. What a fucking pompous asshole. Just imagine somebody's foreign here, and you're just sitting here like with this almost American superiority complex. Just wailing into someone like, consider this your American education. How pompous do you have to be?
No, I don't.
Impeachment means a president during office committed high crimes or treason.
No, actually. It means that they were charged with misconduct. And it could be any crime. Because here's the thing. Legally, the definition of a high crime is not a high crime, like a crime that you've committed that is a stupendous, bombastic crime. A high crime is a crime committed by somebody in a high position of office. Any crime that a president commits while in office is technically a high crime. Yes, treason would be considered misconduct, but broadly it's misconduct. Broadly, it's terrible misconduct. The problem we have in the United States is that in order for you to win an impeachment trial, you have to have a supermajority vote. So when a president gets impeached, but you have an almost even split in the Senate, which is what we have, you're not going to be able to get the requisite votes. Because the president's going to always have a large number of constituents from their party in the Senate. Because of that, you will never be able to get a president tried currently in the two-party system and have it succeed, even if all evidence shows that they should be impeached. Yeah, it says it's high crimes or misdemeanors. Okay. Fair. Fair. Still not what Kaitlin said.
Can you tell me what high crimes or treason President Trump committed?
I'm not going to...
High crimes? Literally anything he did. Anything he did that can be considered a crime is a high crime, definitionally. I mean, we can go into the crimes of Trump if we want to, but people like Legal Eagle are going to be better for that than I am.
Listen to you, because if I want the facts, I'm going to go to where I'm actually going to find the facts. But to me, having that fact and what it matters does not impact my everyday life. What I do...
Facts don't impact your life.
It doesn't. And the reason for...
That's not... Kaitlin, no, the point she's making there is that regardless of how the facts play out in the United States, she lives in Sweden. They will largely not affect her. These things that are grounded in the local do's and don'ts of the United States will not transfer over to her, at least in her mind. They won't. Now, the fact that the United States is kind of an imperial nation that has its fingers in multiple places with bases everywhere around the world means that, yeah, things that happen here do affect people around the world. But still, point being, this is what Kaitlin does. This is her dishonest gotchas. That's all this is. If she doesn't have a, why won't anyone talk to me, oh whoa face, she's got a, haha, look, I got you in a word game. But it doesn't matter that she got people in a word game, and I can show you why it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because the people who want her content are largely liking it regardless. If you look at the comments section, a grown man just called her poopy pants and has a shirt that calls Trump a horror story. LMAO. I was surprised by that teacher. He actually had some sense. Your hatred ruined his beauty. Well, then why doesn't his love fix his bald spot? I haven't gotten to the art teacher guy yet, apparently. Inciting riot isn't a leader's yet. They literally want do what the Democrats did. They bowed at the knees to Antifa and BLM and the riots all summer. Point is, it doesn't matter that what Kaitlin's doing is dishonest. It doesn't matter that none of this would fly if you did it on an actual, like, public debate stage. What matters is that her fans eat it up. They love it. It doesn't matter how poorly she does. All that matters is that it's dishonestly edited to only show her hits, at least the things she considers a hit. And that's it. That's all she's got to do. And she gets the paycheck.
I just said, wow. And you start talking to me. I didn't ask you anything.
Did you vote for Donald Trump?
I did not.
You did not?
No.
I'm shocked. Absolutely just flabbergasted right now. Why didn't you vote for him?
Well, I'm a teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm an art teacher, so I'm a pretty liberal person.
Yeah,
I kind of grew up that way, too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Do you think Trump
Wait, is that what constitutes them being smart to the people in the comment section?
did anything good?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I sold my house, my first...
Oh my god, so when they say the art teacher was actually smart, it's literally the fact that he said good things about Trump. That's what they consider smart. That's all you have to do. That's the low denominator, the low threshold you have to hit to be good. Did insert X president here do good things? Yes. For every president, yes. There's always going to be something good that they've done because of the sheer amount of things that they have to do statistically. It cannot all be bad. But that's such a low bar to clear. It doesn't matter that they did some good things. What matters is that they did good things net. What matters is that they were a net positive or a net negative. Not did they individually, through cherry picking, engage in one or two good things. This is like what happened with Classically Abby, when she said that it's perfectly fine for the Bible to be the way it is. It's not patriarchal because she thought she was able to name 5 strong women in the Bible. Having a handful of hits does not negate your misses, and if you've got more misses than hits, your accuracy is garbage.
first house, and I didn't have to pay... It's like a tax, I don't know. He got rid of it. If you made less than like $200,000 on your profit of your home, you didn't have to pay tax on it. So it saved me like 35%. I was like, look, Donald Trump's doing good things.
Yeah. But you didn't vote for him?
I mean...
Because that's one good thing. One. Among other things he did, he represented our nation so horribly in the public eye that we became a giant joke, more so than we already were. He also engaged in multiple crimes. Again, people like Legal Eagle are going to be better for covering stuff like that than I am here. Also, he did things like ban trans people from the military, which I find to be a giant fucking problem. He also gassed United States citizens. He also said to shoot protesters and all kinds of other fun stuff that I really don't want to get into right now because I've covered it in other videos. That's enough for me not to want to vote for somebody, even if they saved me a little bit of money on my car insurance from Geico.
Because that's not the only reason to vote for somebody.
Right. But I mean, I think he did good when he was in office. I mean, I think that there was a lot of things being persuaded to make people see things in ways they probably shouldn't have.
Yeah.
But yeah.
That's vague, though. There's no substance here. Could you say the things that he did or didn't do? And Kaitlin's just including this because it's like her own. Like, oh yeah, I got a Biden voter to say Trump was a good president. Again, this is the stuff. This is the low bar. This is all they have to clear.
Yeah.
All right. Well, are you proud of Joe Biden so far?
He's doing a whole lot of nothing so far.
He's had to do a lot of cleanup. We have another Kaitlin Bennet video where we went over the things he has done. But, you know, go on with your... I'm not going to say political ineptitude because that sounds really, really bad. But he has done stuff in office, though a lot of it has been having to undo things that Trump did. We have literally another Kaitlin Bennet video where we went over this stuff.
Yeah, where's that $2,000 check, right?
Got it.
Yeah, where's it at?
So I can come down here. I'm gonna move here.
Yeah, move here.
Joe Biden.
Do you think Joe Biden is doing a good job so
I
far?
have no clue. I'm not watching.
Why are you back to this person? Oh my, I just want to see the other people that you've talked to see if the litmus test continues.
The Democrats out here who say, yes, he deserved it. Yes, he deserved it. When you ask them why, it's because he's mean.
Well, because most people don't sit there and bury their nose in politics. Most people don't live the terrible existence that I do. And they should be thankful for that.
I don't know. I don't know.
That's a white screen.
He's said a lot of stupid things. He's made a total son of himself at times, but that doesn't mean that he didn't do good things for the country the 4 years that he was in office.
Yeah.
And I'm sick at the way things have gone in the last 5 weeks. I mean, it's awful. Can you imagine what it's going to be like in the next 4 years?
Why did you vote for Trump?
I voted for Trump, number one, because I'm pro-life, and that really guides who I think should be in office, someone who protects innocent people.
Ah, you don't believe in women's rights to their own bodily autonomy, therefore you voted for the sexual predator. Makes sense.
Voted for Trump because he's anti-establishment. I think it's amazing how much he is.
He is the establishment, honey. Look, Kaitlin, you can say he's anti-establishment, but at the end of the day, he basically played by the Reagan playbook. He's a billionaire. He's one of the elite. He is the establishment at the end of the day. He billed himself as anti-establishment. He tried to pretend he was anti-establishment. But at the end of the day, he did all the things we would expect an establishment Republican to do if they didn't have duct tape over their mouth. That's not anti-establishment, Kaitlin.
Expose has been going on with our media, who they're in bed with, and what they have been trying to say about all of us. I voted for Trump because he deregulates businesses, and he has increased wages for people voluntarily, not by executive order.
Okay. He had a majority in the Senate. He was able to do that. That's a thing that he's able to do when he's got a majority in the Senate, and Mitch McConnell at his back. But he also didn't really increase wages all that much. See, there are some people who got to have increased wages. As with any president, there will be some people who have increased wages. This is not a good point in and of its own, because at the end of the day, there are people who never got their wages increased during Trump's presidency, and probably, more than likely, more of them than did get increased wages. And most of the people who did get increased wages were not working minimum wage jobs. They were not working lower class jobs. They were working higher jobs where they were already, in a lot of cases, able to make ends meet anyway. It enriched people who were already able to make ends meet. Now, I'm sure that this isn't the case for everything, but by and large, this is what we saw at the ground level. As somebody who was working at retail and in various places during Trump's presidency.
Those are just a few of the reasons, and I also hated what I saw on the other side with the looting, the burning, the dehumanizing.
Dehumanizing is something you engage in all the time. Don't even pretend that this is something that is exclusive to the other side, Kaitlin. Also, this is something that happened in a very small percentage of BLM protests. We've already covered that in other videos.
Just act all the time, pointing the finger at Trump supporters, saying we're to blame for everything that they were actually doing. Why did you vote for Donald Trump?
I'm very pro-life as well. I was going to ask you, so you feel that the unborn are actually people?
Yeah, from conception.
Okay.
Yeah, what else are they?
They're human beings, they're people, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. And we can grant that and still say that abortion rights are important. Again, violinist argument's a wonderful thing here. I'm not a big fan of people who think that the argument should be about where you draw the line on when it's a person. I think that's a very weak argument. Because people like this, people like Kaitlin, will never engage in that argument. They're going to say that it's a person from conception. So you have to grant that and go from there. Or exist in their court and then play the game better than them.
Yeah, I think it's absolutely disgusting that we now have a president who calls himself a Catholic, let alone a Christian, and he is sending our tax dollars overseas to fund abortions, and he is the most pro-abortion president we've ever had.
Pro-choice is not the same thing as pro-abortion, Kaitlin. You can say that I believe this is a moral wrong, but I believe it should be a legal right. This is a thing you can do. It's a perfectly fair thing to do. But, you know, nuance and Kaitlin Bennet don't mix.
And he calls himself a Christian, and I think that is such a shame to what Christians actually believe.
It's a shame to have separation of church and state? Well, I already know you believe that since you want a monarchy with Daddy Trump.
Nancy Pelosi's a good Catholic as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, they're the liberal Catholics. A new age of Catholicism, even though it's never been changed for thousands of years. Yeah. Believe it or not, those were the only Joe Biden supporters we came across in a very liberal area, St. Petersburg, Florida.
I knew it was Florida.
We went specifically to St. Pete because it's a liberal area, and you would think the most popular president in U.S. history, well, his supporters would be there, especially in an area that voted for him.
We don't know if those are the only Biden supporters you came across. You are the one that got to edit the footage. Also, most of the people you interviewed there seem to be older people in the older generation, who generally, like I said, vote conservative historically. That's practically always been the case. And the best part about that is that in a lot of cases, they can't tell you why they are voting that way. Sometimes they can. But I know that where my family's concerned, a lot of it is just they're Christian, therefore they're Republican. And that tends to be how things happen. But this seems to be where Kaitlin is closing off her video. So this is also where we'll be closing off ours. We didn't see anything new here. This was Kaitlin doing what she does all the time. She's able to go out, put a microphone in the face of a bunch of people, show her hits, ignore her misses, because I unless she only interviewed, 6 people while going out like this, I have to assume that there are more people interviewed than just this, and she would have shown those in here otherwise. But I don't know. I don't have access to that footage. Nor do I really want to have access to that footage, honestly, given that I've already covered Kaitlin Bennet quite enough on this channel. But in any case, what did we see here? We saw somebody who was worrying and wondering why there were certain people who didn't want to talk to her, why there were people who, when they knew who she was, just didn't want to engage or wanted to just insult her and move on. Which, you know, if I was dealing with somebody who was an anti-Semite, I would probably do the exact same thing. But that's all we saw here, aside from a few things about Trump, where people were saying, no, they like Trump, they think he's good. And then she gets to go that this was... There's a dog whistle in here as well. a dog whistle for people who believe that the election was stolen. When she goes, we went to St. Petersburg, which is a very liberal area, and you would think that Biden supporters would be here, but they weren't. It's almost like it's a signal to people who believe in the election as a fraud conspiracy that she couldn't find them where they were supposed to be. She couldn't find the voters where they should have been. But what do you think? I think that this was a signal to people who believe in the election conspiracy. I believe that this is dishonestly edited footage, as most of the things that she does are. I don't have a reason to believe that Kaitlin Bennet, even though she showed in this video that she does not engage in good faith conversation, would also engage in good faith editing of her own footage. I have no reason to believe any of that. But what do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. I want to know what your opinions are on this particular individual and everything else that's been said here. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like button. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Hit the bell notification icon. If you want to support the channel and what I do, go ahead and check the description below. There's links to my Patreon and other places where you can do that. And as always, everyone, insert end of video tagline here.